Hey guys, welcome to Secular Sports. I'm sure that you all know about the Ezekiel Elliott suspension. I don't think that we have to go into much about that. For those who don't know, Roger Goodell is the punisher and the appeals officer for all conduct policy cases. And based on the fact that Zeke has not had a troubled past, but a controversial one. Months ago, he had lifted up the top of a woman and he showed off her breasts. And you also have this current assault case. I seriously doubt that a guy with such a tattered history in this 1 year alone will get his 6 game ban lifted. Well, I also have to bring up some trade news. The Philadelphia Eagles, Buffalo Bills, and the Los Angeles Rams have all made trades. Let's go with the Bills and the Rams. They've traded Sammy Watkins and a and I believe a draft pick, a late round pick for slot cornerback EJ Gaines and a second round pick. I mean, it's kind of showing you like how the Rams are becoming the slow time takers, and it shows you that they're not going to be very good down the road. I mean, you keep all these incompetent hacks like Jeff Fisher on the payroll when all he did was lose, and yet he got paid. And you have Mr. Kara Henderson himself, Les Snead. He did what hurt Dan Snyder, and that is his own version of the RG3 trade by bankrupting the future for one football player. Just because it's a quarterback, it doesn't mean that he is the team. Well, now he's bankrupting the team even more by getting rid of a significantly high draft pick like a 2018 second round pick for a player that barely makes a 16 game season. Frankly, Watkins hasn't done much, mainly due to injuries to his foot, and his fifth year option got turned down for a reason. I personally feel that this is not going to help him down the road unless he's miraculously healthy. At the same time, he will miss Tyrod Taylor because in LA, football purgatory, he'll be teaming up with the next Blaine Gabbert, Jared Goff. As for the Bills is concerned, they made another trade with the Philadelphia Eagles. They acquired Jordan Matthews, and in return, the Eagles got Ronald Darby. Though Darby did not play for Jim Schwartz, this is a great cornerback upgrade. I think that when you have him and Rasul Douglas, possibly with Jalen Collins playing at the cornerback spot. He is the second year cornerback out of LSU. I have to double check on the name, but when you have when you look at last year and the fact that they were giving up so many 20 plus yard plays, and a guy like Darby was outplaying the likes of Leotis McKelvin and nearly matching up to a peer like Stephon Gilmore. I think that this could help Philadelphia be closer to winning the NFC East. The 6 game suspension with Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas, the fact that Brandon Marshall has never been on a team in the playoffs, this could actually make the defense one step closer to being complete. But in the case of the offense, I thought that with Matthews they'd go with a 3 wide receiver set and have Torrey Smith uh, uh, on the far outside, while Alshon Jeffrey plays the X receiver spot. But it seems like they're going to go 2 tight ends with 2 really competent wide receivers. Though I have my trepidations about Jeffrey, considering that he essentially is a steroid user. If you don't get suspended for PEDs when there's no credible HGH test. The only PEDs that you will get suspended for are steroids anyway. Well, you, I hope that Jeffrey's overcome his issues and can be on the field for 14 to 16 games this year. Well, you also have 3 solid tight ends: Trey Burton, Zach Ertz and Brent Selleck, though Selleck is on his last set of legs, and I think could be replaced during the season with Burton. I think that if they have a two tight end set with a competent running game with Blunt and two guys who could get 15 to 18 to 20 yards per catch, they'll be in better shape than they were last year. I mean, you may just take a 9-7 season for an NFC East team to win the division, but things are looking up in the city of brotherly love. Now to Buffalo, Jordan Matthews is reunited with LaShawn McCoy, his ex-teammate from the Eagles. Remember, LaShawn McCoy was the guy whom I refer to as Charles E. Kelly, the people whom you all know as Chip Kelly. God, I hate that stupid first name. Everybody acted as if he was going to win a championship when the first day he got here, and the longer they said his first name, the more I hated the sound of it. So, Charles E. Kelly is more than fitting. Well, Kelly is the same idiot, the same, supposedly smart person who said that culture wins championships. Culture beats scheme. Well, they may have two guys that have fit a scheme that they've found success in the past. Jordan Matthews is essentially going to the same scheme that he played in Philadelphia last year, because Doug Peterson, a West Coast protege of Andy Reid, runs the same scheme that Brad Childress will be running in Buffalo this upcoming season. And actually, Peterson and Childress both worked together in Kansas City ever since Andy Reid had become the head coach. And obviously, Peterson propelled his way to become the Eagles head coach last year. I didn't agree with the move necessarily, but he, like the family tree and the scheme history, it makes it a good fit for Matthews. He'll essentially be a high target version of Robert Woods, slot guy, 10 to 12 yards per catch, but he could get as many as 80 catches. I'd aim low and go somewhere between 65 and 72, because he was an 800-yard receiver last year. And Zay Jones. Zay Jones will not be the 18 to 20 yard per catch guy that Sammy Watkins was, or even 15 to 20. He'll be an outside guy, but they're going to have to get another one to go alongside with Matthews and Jones. It doesn't make sense to have one slot guy and one outside guy. It's too easy, and Matthews himself has had some tough times getting off press coverage. Plus, they also have Charles Clay at tight end, and it doesn't seem like they could work with anything. I don't think they don't have any other really competent tight ends on their roster. It's Nick O'Leary and Logan Thomas. So I have a very difficult time envisioning a 3 wide receiver set when they're so limited at the physical positions. Plus, Cordy Glenn, he might be out for some time, the left tackle. Well, if they get if they can somehow manage one slot guy and another outside guy, and possibly have Logan Thomas, Nick O'Leary complement Charles Clay or substitute for Clay in case he goes down, because his injury red flags is a big reason Miami let him walk to Buffalo, then they're going to be okay. But they now have 4 picks in the top 64. Buffalo. 2 second-round picks thanks to the Kansas City trade. They have like their own second-round pick and a first-round pick. Things are looking bright. And frankly, if Sean McDermott wants to get a personnel guy that's available on the street, he can get Dave Gettleman. Gettleman was recently fired by the Panthers and was replaced by his predecessor, Marty Herney. But I think that for now they want to stick with continuity, and they look like they're going in the right direction. I don't expect them to have a winning team this year. And frankly, even though I like Tyrod Taylor as a long-term guy, there's just this feeling about there's just this feeling that they might replace him, but I think that would be a mistake. I think that would be a mistake, and they still have ways to go on offense, especially with the departures of past number 2 and number 3 receivers like Marquise Goodwin, Robert Woods. They still have to, get more pieces to complement the running game and even complement the new number 1 receiver, Zay Jones, because the fact that they're the one slot guy, while they're not being another outside guy, it could pose some problems for Buffalo in 2017. Well, that's it for today's report. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.